Hey everyone, Kyle once again. Welcome back to the next episode review of episode 3 of This Monster Wants to Eat Me, which we're still wearing this because just did my video of, you can check it out, the recent passing of guitarist Ace Frehley of Kiss, though. Rest in peace to him. But anyway, getting back to episode 3 now, I thought episode, was more tragic what happened in episode 2. But this is took it even a step further with our girl Hinako's PTSD tragedy. I mean, it's more messed up as it is. So I mean, so after when she kind of was forced to go to the festival that Shuri wanted to take her to, which Hinako didn't want to because it reminds of the time that she spent with her family there. But she went anyway, and she's trying to make the best of it though. But all these memories keep flooding into her head. That is just saddening her, depressing her even more. She tried to eat a candy apple, but it just reminded her, oh, she had one at the festival, and her last festival with them, and she just couldn't take it anymore. She just had to leave. Okay, understandable, right? And then when the fireworks kicked in, when the fireworks kicked in, and you see the fireworks, when you see the reflection of the fireworks through her eyes, right? And her eyes, I don't know if it was me, but her eyes just looked dead when she was looking at the fireworks. Because, well, the thing is though, her eyes looked lifeless. Because the thing is though, her life was lifeless after when her family died, right? She was just like almost like a dead woman, a dead girl walking, and she just wanted to die so badly, right? That's what we see her all surrounding all these beautiful water images, and so, oh, thinking, oh, this mermaid can end my life. Maybe that'll be the best option, right? And so it was just PTSD overload when she just sees the fireworks. We see her go to this flashback, when her family died, and so she went up to the shrine steps, and Shiori's there, and finds her there, and then there's this creature that pops tries to sneak up behind Hinako, but Shiori kills it just within an instant, and Hinako did not know if had never saw that thing coming. So, and then she explains about why, and she explains why, um, which is, her family burnt. They were driving the first vacation they had, and probably the first family vacation they had in years, and so their car ended up in the ocean, burnt on fire. She got thrown out of the car, and the reason why was she just like seeing the ocean so much, and Shiori reminds her of the ocean because they got burned up in the car and they were swallowed up by the ocean, and that's why she's always looking at the ocean, and why it's always so depressing for her just looking at it, because her family got burned up alive and then just sank into the ocean, swallowed up by the ocean, you could say. And that's why it's always so tragic for her, just because seeing Shiori, because every time she says it, her eyes resemble the ocean, or as blue as the ocean, and so that's why she's always, it's like, symbolism, you can say, right? And okay, and then with Shiori says how is the way to, oh, it takes it further on how the way she wants to eat her, right? Because other monsters, like, oh, person who was on brink of death, and they have the smell of rotting, like what he described to her as, like, you have a smell, kind of usually it's the smell of a rotting whale, right? And but what Shiori is, like I said, she has high standards for how the way she wants to eat her prey, especially for Hinako. For Hinako, Shiori wants her to live life, enjoy life, experience the joy of living life. So, but when the time when she's, like, basically, hey, get out of your depression, enjoy life, be happy. And when the time comes when you're living your life to the fullest, and you're at most happiest, then that's when I'll eat you. So, because she sees her kind of like sink into this abyss, and if other monsters attack her, she's not gonna fight back. and to her, to Shiori, that doesn't taste. That does not taste good at all for her. So she wants her to taste when she's most delicious, when she's loving life. So at the peak of when she's living life to the fullest and she's the most happy and most joy, then that shit will eat her. And it's like, hey, I'm gonna first gonna peel your flesh and I'm gonna split you open, your stomach up down the middle, and I'm gonna enjoy your insides, and you're gonna taste at most fantastic, you know. So okay, so that's like the standard scenario how she wants to eat, especially how she wants to eat Hinako. So it's like, hey, delay. Okay, it's gonna be time though, but if I'm out of this depression, I'm gonna enjoy stuff like that makes me the most happy. Hey, then that's when you'll end me, right? And then afterwards, then we see her friend Miko. Like I expected, she saw Hinako with Shiori at the festival, and she got that look where it's like, huh, which I kind of expected because hey, because after when Hinako didn't want to go with her, then she goes to sees her with Shiori, and she's like, huh, with that look, right? It's like, huh. So, and then afterwards at school, which Hinako being the because she's trying her best to help out Hinako, right? And she goes and talks to her, right? And she does not accuse her. Well, say it in a much more. She doesn't say it, talk to her in a much in an accusingly way, right? And she does it very kind and polite, right? Hey, did you see? You say you can see the fireworks from your house, right? Did you see them? And it's like, oh, I'm sorry, I was in the bath. So she kind of knows that she was lying to her, though, but she kept a smile on her face, you know, because she didn't want to, she didn't want to push it, though, but she kind of felt like that she knew that she was lying, because after all, she saw her at the festival, so. But she can go say, hey, how come, she can go and blurt out and say, hey, I saw you at the festival, why did you go after I invited you, right? She didn't do that, no. Because, like I said, she's always doing her best to cheer her up, help her out, though, so she wasn't going to go and accuse her and just go all be mad at her for that though. So, but that's kind of. But I'm glad that Hinako has a friend that's always so positive though. But even despite the fact that she did kind of lie, she did lie to her though. But still, but that's what kind of I expected to see her. It's like, uh-oh. And then afterwards, when there was Hinako and Shiori, they were sweeping the school, right, for the leaves and stuff, right. Hinako leaves, and then Shiori just takes out more creatures with the broom, and then that's when Miko goes and sees her, looks at her, is like, okay, so she kind of see the yokai as well, right? Maybe she, well, I don't think it's that she, because Shiori says she accept if Miko is, so she says to Honoko, if Miko is your friend, then she's my friend, right? I don't know that. I don't know if she goes. She meant that. So if she's her friend, she sees her. I don't know, or maybe I just basically assumed that Miko has this ability to see yokai, or the creatures. You know, I think that she has this ability to see the creatures, and so now that she sees her, but I don't think Shiori's not gonna kill her because she's Hinako's friend, so she's not gonna kill her. But I assume that she's gonna talk to her about this, but so about what she is probably. But yeah, so this is a much more messed up episode than the last one was. Definitely 10 out of 10. This is definitely the most tragic, most messed up episode. Like I said, Hinako's PTSD overloads, fries her brain. I'm like, this is so depressing and so messed up. So. But yeah, this monster wants to eat me. I don't see how people are sleeping on this. I just don't get it though. I assume if anyone hasn't seen any of this so far, I would recommend you check out This Monster Wants to Eat Me, because I was gonna stick with one show, and that was Spy Family. But I'm glad after seeing this, I'm glad I'm watching this now, because I never seen such a much more tragic, depressing series for our main character than I've seen in a while. So wow. So yeah, I recommend you check this series out, please. And I just don't get why the community how are sleeping on this. So I just don't know see how. But yeah, but very messed up episode. PTSD overload, like I said. So that's episode 3 of This Monster Wants to Eat Me. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more. Later.